What's going on, everybody? It's Liam Chase here with the Crypto Convo, coming to you with the first episode that we are recording. If you've been following me on Facebook, I've been posting a lot about cryptocurrency in general, and finally deciding to get my feet wet, start making YouTube videos about this. Obviously, these last 2 days, we've been in a pretty big correction. Actually, relatively not too big. We've actually dipped about 21%. You can actually see it right here. We've actually dipped about 21% from the top to the bottom, which in crypto is not super big. On average, throughout a bull market, you're going to see 30, 35, maybe even closer to 40% corrections throughout the bull market. So it's pretty natural. But everything seems to be recovering, or at least getting back up to speed over the last couple of hours. But I just wanted to come with you with some reports that I came across today that were pretty interesting, starting with the first one being Square, the company Square, who owns Cash App, adding another $170 million worth of Bitcoin to their balance sheet. And this is something that I have been slightly talking about on my Facebook, and I've been learning a lot more about this over the last few weeks, and something that I'm finally starting to realize myself. The reason I believe that Bitcoin will go to $1 million within my lifetime is not because of folks like you and I buying it, but it's because of institutions, right? Institutions, companies like Square, like MicroStrategies and Michael Saylor, like Tesla and Elon Musk. Me and you, we're not going to be the people that drive up. We're not competing with each other. We're competing with institutions that have hundreds of millions up to billions of dollars that are looking for a place to call home. And more institutions, as more and more institutions get in, more and more institutions will be finding Bitcoin, will be calling Bitcoin a home for that money. And so that's what a lot of people don't understand, is that these institutions are starting to realize the value and the power of Bitcoin, and they are going to be chasing it. And we, as retail investors, are going to be competing. We already are competing with institutions that have hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars in cash sitting around waiting to find a home. And this is what has really gotten me kicking myself lately, because I'm just now coming to this realization after 2 years of learning about really macroeconomics and really how the whole finance system works. And they are starting to see Bitcoin as a solution to the lot of problems they face, as really as a replacement or something equal to the Treasury note, the United States Treasury bond, different names for different lengths. But that is what's considered pristine collateral. And you have folks like Raoul Paul, who formerly worked at Goldman Sachs, talking about how in the future he can see how Bitcoin will be considered pristine collateral right there with the United States Treasury notes. So that's what a lot of people don't realize. This is the big news for me today. So they added another 3,318 Bitcoins after they did an October purchase for 4,700 Bitcoins. And that's the thing. There's a fixed supply, 21 million. There's going to be hundreds of billions, probably trillions of dollars into the future chasing that money. And it's a fixed supply of 21 million. So I would strongly suggest that I get my hands on my own. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence. Watch some more interviews, do some more reading, but that's the conclusion that I'm coming to. Other news, Bitfinex Tether. Tether is a stable coin on the Ethereum blockchain. Essentially, one Tether is supposed to represent $1. The New York Attorney General called them out on that. I don't feel like this is big news. Some folks, it's big news, but I don't know how that I don't feel like it has an impact on me or us specifically. A lot of folks use Tether. I use Tether just to buy coins on exchanges that I typically can't buy. So a lot of people feel it's like a bridge to other cryptocurrencies. But a lot of people feel it could be good because they're settling and they banned them from New York, but they're not banned globally or anything like that. Tether's going to be a little more transparent, providing statements or providing their balance sheet on a quarterly basis. So that's what happened there. But here's something, and this is kind of going more into the government side of cryptocurrency that I feel is this is not just a theory anymore, guys. I'm of the opinion that we'll probably see a central bank digital currency in the United States within a decade, maybe 5 to 10 years. It really depends on how this next recession plays out. But Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, he's been speaking over the last day or two, I believe, and he's come out and said that they are as you can see, Fed looking very carefully at the digital dollar. Now, they're not, they haven't pursued anything. They're not doing any experiments. Looks like they're just looking at it, maybe reading on it, doing some studying, writing some reports. I know there's a lot of other countries around the world, and that's what he talks about. A lot of other central banks around the world are doing research on digital currencies. So that's something that could be seen as a positive, could be seen as something that competes with the cryptocurrency space. And another interesting article that I came across is what stops the Fed from buying up Bitcoin. So not only do we have the possibility of billions, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars chasing these fixed supply of 21 million Bitcoins, but we also have the ability of these central banks with, especially the United States Federal Reserve, with essentially an unlimited amount of money chasing this fixed supply of 21 million Bitcoin. And somebody said, first off, Bitcoin is still a long way before it's considered worthy of the Fed's attention. Somebody at some company said. He says there needs to be more publicly traded companies who buy crypto before the Fed will begin to even consider purchasing and holding Bitcoin. And so we obviously saw that today. Square, another big company, buying more Bitcoin. Let's see here. It also talks about why might the Fed buy Bitcoin. There are two main reasons the Fed might want to buy up Bitcoin. The first is to gain majority control over what it believes to be the world's next reserve currency, whereas the second is to drive its value down to maintain the status of the US dollar as the world's currency. So there's two hypotheses there. It could become the world's next reserve currency. And you see, this is why, folks, you have to do, I've been studying macroeconomics and learning how the financial systems work and learning how the financial markets work really over the last 2 years since I got in California and doing what I do in my current position. So if you're somebody who doesn't understand that, the context that you have for Bitcoin is probably not going to be at the same level that folks like Raoul Pal are talking about, somebody who's been in the financial industry for a long time. And, my short 2 years, it's very small, but compared, I would say, to the average person, I probably have a little bit more insight or knowledge of how things work. But that's the thing. And that's the thing I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily recognize is that there's going to be, it's possible that there's going to be billions, trillions of dollars chasing these 21 million Bitcoin. And that's it. That's it. There's nothing else in the world that's an asset that is fixed in supply like Bitcoin that has the attention of these institutions, like it's capturing MicroStrategy, Tesla, Square. Right? Everything else, gold has, it's relatively low supply, but it's still mined every year. Bitcoin, it's being mined right now, but there's a hard cap of 21 million as far as we know. As far as I know, the code can't be amended by one single person. That's why it's considered to be decentralized. And so it's going to be stuck at 21 million, and there's going to be all this money chasing. It may even be central banks one day chasing this $21 million. So that's in the Fed news, government news. But another awesome report that I came across that is very good is one of the SEC members is come out and saying at a speech in a college, I believe it was George Washington University, saying that she is supporting DeFi. So she spoke about DeFi. Pierce believes DeFi promises of democratization and open access are alluring, and wants regulators like the SEC to not get in the way. So that's, I would say, bullish for crypto, for DeFi. I don't know if you folks have played around on any DeFi protocols. I have on a couple different blockchains, Ethereum, as well as the Binance Smart Chain. Excited to see what comes with, chains like Cardano, Polkadot. So there's a lot of exciting stuff. And so for, a member of the government, of the SEC, the regulatory branch of the government over investment products and funds, to say that they're going to do that, she encourages folks, the government, not to get in the way. It doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it does look and sound good. But anyways, folks, that's what I want to talk to you about today. Also, one real quick. So with this pullback, we're seeing what looks to be almost a very beautiful cup and handle being formed. So technical analysis for you here and a little learning. So as you can see, I just drew it out. It forms basically a perfect cup. And then here's the handle being formed. So typically you'll have an all-time high. It'll take a couple of years, 3-4 years in the case of cryptocurrency, to form and break. So you see it break the all-time high decisively. And then now it's kind of come back like you see right here. And it's retesting the previous all-time high. It looks like it bounced off of it and bounced off of it pretty quickly, and is going right back up to 16, where it got down to 1350, 1360. So there's just a little bit of technical analysis for you guys. This is random, but look, Binance coin literally came out of nowhere, and I will talk about that in another video. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, join the Crypto Convo Facebook or even Discord. Pretty small right now. Making videos. My audience isn't very big. Just got an audience on Facebook right now. So if you're watching from Facebook, I really do appreciate it. And like I said, please smash the like button first and foremost, because that will help get this video out to other folks on YouTube. Subscribe if you like the content, and be sure to join the free groups. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you tomorrow, hopefully. See ya.